Hey there, I'm Mark from Spectrum Pulse, and today we finally have from Laufey Bewitched. The odd thing about acts that blow up off of TikTok isn't just that it can feel unpredictable, but also feel so detached from historical context. So when Icelandic multi-instrumentalist and singer Laufey started showing up on my radar and amassing critical acclaim alongside TikTok traction, I was kind of perplexed. But then I heard her 2022 full-length debut, Everything I Know About Love, and I got it pretty quick. A clear accolade of the tastefully smooth pop jazz of the 1950s. Think Ella Fitzgerald or Billie Holiday, but she also wrote and produced all of her own work. The easy comparison might be Norah Jones, but Jones didn't do that. And Laufey struck me as a more interesting, personal, and detailed writer, clearly inspired by the modern pop songstresses, and that left me really curious for the next step. And with Bewitched, oh god, I know I'm not going to make any fans with this, but it feels like a sidestep or maybe even a step down from her debut, even if I would agree with the majority of points of praise for this. The arrangements are bigger, they're more diverse and lush, there's some slinky bossa nova touches, and Laufey's vocal presence on the mic has only grown more refined and confident. Again, she sung, wrote, and produced the majority of this album. The technical craftsmanship is legit superb, but it isn't just that her arrangements feel bigger, they also feel broader, more traditionally accessible as a whole, and that to me feels like a slight misstep. Her debut was a coming-of-age album, sure, but it was full of idiosyncratic romantic details in the lyrics that felt uniquely hers, and it gave it so much character. Whereas this album is full of love and heartache, but that sense of detail feels eased back a little to play to more general sentiments. And yeah, I get the rationale. It places her more directly in lineage with her influences, this particular tradition, and this a genre where tradition matters, but it makes the mistake of assuming that the audiences will not relate to the specifics of her story, and that's all the more pronounced when you realize on a sonic level, the soft-focused ballads of this project are playing very much to the tasteful formula, and thus the comparison to those influences becomes more pronounced. And when you pair that with a longer runtime, and how the album seems to have less variance in terms of tempo and content, even composition, it starts slipping into the background when there isn't a couple odd mixing and mastering choices that feel like weird missteps, and I've never liked Lovesick. It feels like an interpolation of Ed Sheeran's Photograph, another song I'm mid on at best. Now, I think part of my frustration is that since I listen to a lot of indie country, this vocal jazz tradition isn't as distant to me. The immediate comparison in my mind was Courtney Marie Andrews, but there was a decent number of throwback songstresses in that subgenre with similar vibes, so I'm not discovering a new era of this sound at the same time the rest of TikTok did, and that's also not for me to say that this is bad. I love the gorgeously tragic Second Best and California and Me, the spare lonely angst of Promise, or the slinky moral ambiguity of Haunted. But I do find it a little bit less interesting than her debut. It's extremely tasteful, very well performed, well produced. She's probably going to win a Grammy. I'm actually glad I'm late to this because for a holiday atmosphere, it feels kind of inspired. But in the interest of mass appeal, I don't think it helps her stand out. I really hope she corrects that quickly. It's a nice album. I just wish I was more enchanted. That's all. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching. If you want to see more, please be sure to like, share, drop comments, and subscribe, because I know I'm going against the norm with this one. Again, I really wanted to like it. Took kind of a while to grow on me, but still not as much as her debut, which I think actually is really great. But beyond that, anything else I might be able to do to improve my presentation, I'm all ears. And if you want to get projects on my schedule or just argue with me more directly on my Discord, link to my Patreon is right over there. Don't feel obligated, tough times, but option is available. And just to keep in mind, this is my last review of the calendar year, unless we get something insane that comes out of nowhere next week. So we got year-end lists on the docket. Please stay tuned for that. You'll want to subscribe, and again, keep your eye on that. Until then, I'm Mark, you're watching Spectrum Pulse, and I'll see you next time.